Happy Sunday, or whatever day you happen to listen to this or scroll across this. Why do we negotiate our worth in relationships? Why do we negotiate our worth in relationships? That's a good question. As I was getting ready this morning, this was just downloaded in my spirit, and I just wanted to talk about it because I know that a lot of us experience this and we don't even realize why we keep having the same experiences over and over again. Every relationship ends the same. It's like, what is going on? Why does this keep happening? Why do I keep dating the same person? Why do I negotiate our worth in relationships? There was a time when I negotiated my worth in a relationship. The relationship was completed. I just had to have this person for some reason. I was like, this is my person. This is the guy. This is the one. Like, I want what you're saying. This the one. In other words, that's what I was saying. I was saying it, but not saying it. And I started negotiating my worth. Like, okay, so I know you got a baby. I know you got a baby, and that's okay. Like, we still can make this thing work. Like, it's okay. Like, what? Jennifer, what's going on with you? Why are you negotiating your worth? In relationships, when we stay too long with the wrong person, our self-esteem, our self-love, our self-trust slowly diminishes. It diminished. Like, I was like, why are you doing that? That's not the person for you. If a person walks out of your life, that is not the person for you. Sometimes we fall in love with our assignments and we don't even realize it, right? This person just crossed your path to teach you a lesson, to show you something about yourself. And you're trying to make them stay. And you're only going to just continue to hurt yourself, right? It's only going to be hell, okay? That was my story. Have you ever experienced that? You knew that relationship was like over, but you was like negotiating. Hey, what about this? What about that? I can do this and I can do that. And it's okay. It's all right. Yeah, that was me until it wasn't. I had to get to know me. And as I'm thinking about all of these things, as I just, I'm listening to different things and I'm learning things about myself, now in the present from my experiences of the past. And, excuse me. I was listening to something on the other day, and actually I listened to this on February 8th, and I'm sitting here just connecting the dots this morning. I'm like, wait a minute. And then on February 15th, I listened to something else, and this was called Falling Out of Love. Falling Out of Love. I think that may not be the title. It's something similar. It's just the notes that I wrote that just stood out for me. 3 reasons we often fall out of love outside of infidelity. 3 reasons we fall out of love. Number 1, trauma bonding. This is when 2 individuals have attachment styles that come together and trauma fuels the attraction. Falling in love with the surface. Trauma bonding is when 2 individuals, attachment styles that come together and trauma fuels the attraction. Falling in love with the surface. You can never sustain that. And then you get to know the person throughout the relationship. You're like, my God, what happened here? Number 2, disconnection. The very first thing that leads to the relationship. It's hard to stay connected for a long time if you weren't taught how to stay connected. It's hard to stay connected if you have never been taught how to stay connected. I never was taught that, okay? Codependent behavior. Emotionally dependent on another person. Sometimes you fall out of love because you were never taught how to remain in love. Every single day, I choose my husband. I choose to love him. I choose to show up. 5 reasons we lose connections. Growing families. Say you have a baby and then it's like the kids, it's all about the kids, right? Family starts growing. And then you lose connection. Busyness. I gotta work. Working 2 or 3 jobs. Don't have time for each other. Can't make time for each other. Just busy. Just a busybody. Number 3, taste buds change. You no longer are attracted to one another. Then Somebody else comes along maybe and they're just, saying all the things, looking a certain way. And they're like, whoa, this looks good over here. Let me just dip over here. Number 4, selfishness. That word explains itself, right? And then number 5, unhealed wounds. So now I'm going to go from number 5, unhealed wounds, to what I was listening to on February 8th. Do I have trauma? This is from a licensed therapist. This blew my mind. I'm learning this stuff in real time. That's why I'm sharing it in real time. Past wounds that affect how we show up in the present and perceive the future. Past wounds that affect how we show up in the present and perceive the future. When we are reliving the same situation over and over again, when we relive the same situation and the same principle over and over again in the same setting with different people, that answered my question. Why did I keep dating the same person? Why did I keep dating the same person? When we are reliving the same situation, the same principle over and over again in the same setting with different people, our brain lives in a loop. Okay. And we steer where we stare. Our brain loves resolutions. Okay. Our brain finds our brain will find the same person who embodies the same characteristics. That's why you keep dating. That's why I kept dating the same person. Hold on. Clutch your pearls. Because I ain't done yet. Clutch your pearls. Or your chain. I'm sorry, fellas. When you're trying to resolve past pain in the present, we're not always conscious. This person abandoned me. I'm going to find someone else who abandons me. I'm going to read it again because I want this to marinate. When you're trying to resolve a past pain in the present, we're not always conscious. This person abandoned me. I'm going to find somebody else who abandons me. Your brain finds someone who embodies those same traits, thinking, I get a second chance at this. Maybe this time I will earn their love. Your brain finds someone who embodies those same traits, thinking, I get a second chance at this. Maybe this time I'll earn their love. This has very little to do with the person in front of you and towards the person from the past who abandoned you. You have unresolved feelings for. Trauma desensitizes us to the warning signs of the situations we end up in. Dating the same person over and over again. Trauma desensitizes us to the warning signs of the situation we end up in. This is normal when you have trauma. It desensitizes you. A lot of times we find ourselves in situations and we're like, my goodness, or we just, somebody's coming to you sharing, what's going on with them. And you say, and you just can't understand like why they don't get it. Like, why does it seem normal to them? Because trauma desensitizes us to the warning signs. I was having a conversation with one of my accountability partners and, we got on this topic and she was like, well, you shit all these answers. And I'm just like, when you are in that thing, you don't know all this stuff. You don't see the red flags. How can you see a red flag when you are a red flag? How can you see a red flag if you don't even know what a red flag is? Like, how do you know? You don't know. I'm telling you because I experienced that. Those things, it's easy to tell people what they should do. It's easy to give advice until you find yourself in that situation and you don't know how to get out of it. You start negotiating. Oh, what about, it's okay. What about this? Don't leave me and we can work this out. And you want me to stop talking to this person? You want me to stop going here? You want me to stop wearing that? You want me to stop doing? You start negotiating who you are. You don't even know who you are because you become who they need you to be because you don't know you are. You become who they need you to be and you start negotiating things. I shouldn't do this and I shouldn't do that. Just for them to stay. Just for them to stay. Is it worth that? Is the relationship worth that? Is that person worth that? Like some people, we can love people and leave them alone. We can love people and walk away from them. It's possible. I did it. It's possible to love people and leave them alone. Wish them well. Okay? If that means rescuing yourself, you gotta leave them. For you. You're not leaving them. You're getting you. You're getting yourself back. You're getting your self-worth back. Your self-love back. Your self-esteem back. Your hope back. Your drive back. your life back. Ask me how I know. I don't just talk about this. I live this.